stunning new poll. I mean, this one just has me blown away. We knew that Donald Trump was faring better in the polls. I mean, there's one outlier that I think is worth paying attention to, but all the polls are showing him way up. And this one in particular, oh my goodness gracious, when you break it down, first of all, according to this new NBC News poll just out, 5 points. He's up 5 points overall, 5 points higher versus Joe Biden. But it's what's in the poll. It's what's in the poll. And by the way, remember, Donald Trump tends to poll worse than he otherwise would because people are afraid to actually say, yeah, I'm going to vote for him. So this is incredible. This headline, we're showing you that the Daily Mail did a write through on it. Joe Biden is 16 points behind Donald Trump on competency. Pure, basic competency. I mean, if that doesn't win it for Trump, what does? I mean, if people actually think that Joe Biden is not competent enough for the job, and by the way, I get it, totally, utterly get it, then how does he actually stand a chance at anything? So that's a 16-point spread. And then when you look in even further, guess what? There's like better than a 20-point spread on the economy. Wow. 20, I mean, look at this. Here we go. This is, again, Daily Mail has a nice little graphic for us. Competence. 48% say Trump is competent versus 32% saying Biden's competent. Competent, ladies. The president of the United States should be competent. Is that asking for too much? And then when you go to border security, well, before we do that, economy first. 55% say Trump on the economy, 33% Biden. So now they're making the rounds everywhere, all over MSNBC and The View, saying the economy's great, the economy's great. No, the economy's not great. And I got one chart to show you that's totally going to prove it. And then you get border security. Whoa. Is it any wonder that there is a 22% to 57% thing? I mean, you want to talk margin here. Wow. Donald Trump on the border, 57% consider him competent and good and able to manage the border, and border security being a good issue for him. Only 22% of the electorate. This is left and right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like these are all just one-way thinkers or people, that are conservatives. Only 22% of the U.S. population that's eligible to vote right now actually thinks, according to the latest NBC News poll, that Biden is competent on the border, that Biden's doing a good job on the border. So these are pretty significant viewpoints. And I think that if you think about this, if the election were held today, I don't know how Biden actually wins it. I really don't. I mean, if I were working for him, I'd start looking for a new gig really soon. I mean, you know how they figure he can win it if they just keep drilling over and over and over and over again that Trump is bad and anyone that votes for him is on the wrong side of history and they are therefore bad. So we're just going to cancel 75 million people. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, I got to play this clip. I mean, if you're new to the show, terrific. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, thumbs up, hit the bell, do all that stuff. If you've been here before, you may have seen me play this because I'm just blown away. It's our friends over at Gravy, and they put this together. Wow. This is what they're going to do to try and win the election.
Every one of us, our freedom, our liberty, none of us is safe.
It's going to have people around him executing against an enemy's list.
Assassinate generals.
Ordering troops to attack American citizens.
Trump's very well-armed and extremist base will try to kill people.
He's going to basically burn the house down.
He will unravel the institutions of our democracy.
Draw similarities between Mussolini and Hitler.
Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini.
Makes Donald Trump even more dangerous.
Wants to take away your vote. Senate and the House are immediately going to be paralyzed.
People will begin in their minds to censor themselves. They might say, well, maybe I shouldn't say this.
This is the end of democracy.
I think that could be the end of our democracy.
But democracy is dead.
They go on and on and on. They get like 5 more minutes of this. I'm not going to torture you. I just want you to understand their path to re-election here. This is all they got. This is all they got because when it comes to substance, the actual policy that is meaningful and that will matter for yourself, for your future, for your family's future, for your children, for your grandchildren, The policy, they just keep coming up short on, one after another, on the international front, on the economy, on immigration. I mean, my gosh, think of what's happening in New York. Think of what's happening in Massachusetts. Think of what's happening in California, in Texas, all over the country, right? I mean, think of that. We're going to get to it in a second. But again, these polls, I want to remind you guys of something. I want to remind you, when it comes to these polls, people are not always truthful. How can they be? I mean, you're being threatened with total cancellation. So you think you're going to tell all your friends, yeah, I'm voting for Trump? You think you're going to tell the pollster that you don't know, this person on the phone, that you're voting for Trump? No, you're not. You may say, well, I think that Trump's better on the border. You may say, I think he's better on the economy. You may say, I think he's more competent, but you're not going to say that you're actually voting for Donald Trump, which is why when you look at those numbers and people keep saying he's better on this, he's better on that, he's better on this, and then the final number shows him up only 5 points, it's because people won't go that far. They're afraid to say, yeah, I'm going to vote for him, because of the vitriol that you see on the left. Liz Cheney, how many times does she tell us, well, this is going to be for the history books. You're either on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. And then they evoke things like Hitler and Mussolini and oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Right? So that's their path to winning, because they don't actually offer any meaningful policy. That is a problem.